Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC, a weekly podcast and YouTube channel discussing everything Wrexham from the point of view of long-term fans and brand new fans like my wife. So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
Yep.
So we'll start with the games this week. So we had a double game week.
We did.
So kick
Home
off.
and away.
Home and away.
Away and a home.
Away and a home, yeah. We'll kick off with Notts County.
Okay.
So we didn't come away with any points, obviously, from the Notts County game. Do you think that was all sort of doom and gloom?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay.
Yes and no. Yes.
Yes.
Because we didn't come away with any points.
Okay.
But no, because we did have a lot of chances.
I think
the other team gave us a lot of chances, but obviously they weren't,
converted.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's an important point to make because I've read a lot on social media, I think this week, where everyone has been a little bit doom and gloom after that game, in the sense of, the midfield were overrun. Jordan Davis looked miles off the pace. Max looked off the pace as well. But I think to flip that around a little bit, like you very rightly said, we created chances.
Yep.
We created a lot of chances. We had a goal disallowed for offside, James Jones.
That was like in the first few minutes, wasn't it?
No. They had a goal that they thought they'd scored early on.
Yeah.
James Jones had one disallowed in the second half, I think. Looking at it back, he was offside, but that was tight. Ollie had a couple of one-on-ones, maybe could have done a few things a little bit differently. I think on another day, we would have come away from that game with points.
And another team.
No. No, but I just think,
I
don't think it was all doom and gloom. If we hadn't created any chances, then yes, doom and gloom, I think, because, that's another title rival we've gone to.
Yeah.
And they've taken all 3 points from us.
And to be fair, I think we all knew that it was going to be a tough game even before it began.
We did, but Notts County left a lot of space in behind. They pressed really high, a lot of space in behind. That's how we were getting it in and one-on-ones. No offence to Ollie, but I think if Paul Mullin would have had them one-on-ones, I think it might have been a little bit different. Maybe. You can't really say that because if it would have gone the other way round, you might be thinking, if they'd have fallen to Ollie, it might have been a little bit different. You just don't know. It wasn't our day. And
what game was it? Game 12 or game 11? I can't remember now.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but
we've still got quite a few games to go, so it's there's no point getting all.
No, I mean, I think there was plenty in the game to be positive about. I understand people's frustrations from the game. I've seen the highlights back. We weren't there because of work, but
we did listen to it though.
Yeah, we listened to it. We've seen the highlights. It's not the same, but I think there was a lot to be positive about in that game.
Yeah.
And I think, we were ultimately unlucky to come away with no points. Langstaff scoring again.
Yeah.
His 109th goal of the season, whatever it was. He scored a lot. And, it just had to be him. It was a well-worked free kick from him as well. And it just unpicked us a little bit. I think it said a lot that Howard played quite well in that game. We limited them to 1 goal. It wasn't like they absolutely battered us, in my opinion. Some other people have very different opinions to that.
So hopefully, when we play them, I think it's next year we play them at home, isn't it?
I think it is, yes.
We do a bit better.
Yeah, I think so. But for that game, I think, shout out to Howard, I think he played very well. The reason I'm doing that is I've got something to say about him for the next game. So let's give him praise where it's due. I think he played very well there. I think a lot of the old arguments reared their head, though, in the Notts County game, that our midfield was being overrun.
Yep.
I mean, we've heard this so many times, and it keeps rearing its head.
Is that what people are saying, that 5 doesn't work?
No, that's 5 at the back.
5 at the back.
So what 5 at the back does is it then creates a bit of a mismatch in midfield.
Yeah.
Because what teams will do against us is they will go, right, okay, if you've got 5 at the back, it's 5/3 because you're 2 on the outside. They create their wing backs, so they're half midfielders, half defenders. But ultimately it's 5-3-2. What teams are doing, the better teams are doing, they're setting up as 4-4-2. So they're setting up with 4 in midfield, and instantly your 4 are overrunning your 3. There's a lot of arguments for and against, and I get the argument. We're not going to delve too much into that today, because I think it's an argument that will rear its head on many occasions this season.
Definitely.
And I'm just too tired to talk about it this week, because I'm sure we'll have to talk about it many times this season.
Yep.
So we move on to the Barnet game.
Oh, the Barnet game.
So David Camps on Twitter said he can't wait for Siân's review of the game. So, Siân, review the game for me.
Well, what can I say? It was mental. Do you know what? It was almost on par to the Dover game.
It wasn't.
It was.
Okay, for you.
For me, it was.
For you, it was.
It's my review. So, in my opinion, David asked for my opinion. In my opinion, it was on par, or no, almost on par. I don't think there's any game that I've been to yet that has beaten the Dover game.
No.
But the Barnet game on Saturday
was up there.
Was up there. Yeah.
I think the way the Dover game was different, in my opinion, was
we were sitting in different seats.
No, we were 5-2 down, and then we came on this surge, and we came back, and then the level of emotion raised and raised and raised. Yeah. Whereas Saturday was quite different, because it was a little bit back and 2, but then we went 7-3 up. And then they just got a couple more back. So the emotion wasn't quite the same for me.
I think it was for me.
Was it?
My heart was pounding.
Yeah.
Every time Barnet scored, I was like, oh my God. My heart was just getting faster and faster and faster.
Now, they scored 5.
Yes.
For you, could you see how them goals were avoidable? They scored one absolute worldie, which no one was stopping. That one from about 25, 30 yards. It was a cracking goal. A lot of people stood up and applauded that. Can you see how a lot of them goals were avoidable, though, from a new fan perspective? Or were you just looking at it going, oh, they've scored again?
Yeah. I was like, oh, damn, they've scored. Yeah, I think, see, I've still got my reservations about Howard.
Yeah.
I was say Howden.
I'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, I've got my reservations about him at the moment. Don't get me wrong. He is a good goalkeeper.
Played well against Nottingham County, as I said.
Yeah, but I think, and this probably is going off your point completely, but I think in regards to letting goals, we should not, for the kind of team that Barnet are, we should not have conceded 5 goals. Do you want that one goal? Maybe, because obviously you said that was never going to be saved.
No.
But the other 4 goals, we shouldn't have conceded those.
Because it was very poor defending. Can you identify when we're defending poorly and how we're defending poorly?
When the goals are going in.
Let's say they didn't score any.
Okay.
But every goal they scored just went past the post, or Howard saved it. Would you still have noticed the poor defending because they were creating them chances, is what I think I'm trying to ask? Or is it the goals for you that make it twig in your head that we're defending badly?
Yeah, I think
is it?
Yeah, because I am a newbie. I don't quite understand. I'm still learning the positions and stuff like that. And I know what. I know that Paul Mullen and Ollie Palmer are strikers.
Yeah.
I know that Jordan Davis is a defender.
Midfielder.
See, I'm still learning. Exactly. So it's, when they score a goal.
It very much falls under the tactic sort of bracket for you, doesn't it? Which you're still trying to get your head around a little bit. For me, personally, our left-hand side was very weak yesterday. So that falls McFadzean, who's the left wing back. He's struggling for me massively at the moment. And
although he did play well in the can't remember what game it was now. The Oldham game. I thought he played well. Or the game before that. Who did we play before
I
that?
don't know. You're going back a long way now.
I know.
You are scrabbling for games where he's played well, aren't you? It's the one where Mendy got injured.
Yes.
And he came on and he played well.
Yes.
So I think that was the Dagenham game.
That was the home, at home.
I think if you've got to go 3 or 4 games back and go, he played well in that game.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few games since that, and he's just not really there. He was opened up so many times yesterday. Everything came down our left. So you've got McFadzean, who's left wing back. You've got Max, who's the left-hand side of the 3. For me, Max seems away from with the fairies at the moment. I think he's massively struggling.
I think a lot of people said though that McFadzean and someone else, I can't remember who the other person was, made his job 10 times harder. I've seen that a lot on Twitter.
Yeah, that's true. But he's got some real class, and you'd expect what you'd hope from your left-sided centre back is that when McFadzean gets beaten or gets played around, that your left-sided centre back is there to sweep up that mess.
Yeah,
and I think he also got beaten and taken on far too easily yesterday. A lot come down that side.
Yeah.
And I felt that side was quite poor. For me, and it's something I've mentioned on social media, Bryce is fit again.
Yes, I'm so glad he came on.
Yeah, they tend to play him on the right a lot. So he's left-footed, but they play him on the right because his game likes to be cutting in. So when you're going down the right, cut in, and then you're on your left foot.
Yep.
That's what I mean by that. I just think it's worth a shot putting him at left back for a bit and just seeing, because I don't think the left-hand side's working at the moment. So Mendy's out for another 4 or 5 weeks. I think it's time just to freshen it up a little bit and let's see how Bryce does and give him an opportunity. He's back from his injury. He's obviously fully fit. Let's just give him a little go.
Yeah.
And let's see.
I like Bryce.
I do as well.
He's a good little player.
I think he'll be, in the coming years, I think he'll be an amazing player. He just needs that confidence and game time, and I think he'll be great.
Yeah.
So to talk about Howard, actually, I'm going to go back a little bit. I've got some stats for you.
Okay.
Very interesting stats. One,
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. One I've stolen from somewhere.
Okay.
It's quite a well-known stat.
Okay.
And another one is all my own work. So we, as in Wrexham, are the highest scoring team in the top 5 leagues of English football.
Yes, I've seen that.
We have scored the most goals in the top 5 leagues. Excellent. That's really good, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Can I give you another stat?
Is this going to be a negative stat?
Very much so.
Okay.
Only one team
Yeah.
in the top 5 leagues has conceded 5 goals at home on 3 occasions in 2022.
I'm gonna punt.
You'd be very right in punting that it's Wrexham. Yeah,
that's worrying.
That is very worrying. That we had a standout on our own, as the only team who've conceded 5 goals at home on 3 separate occasions.
Just this year.
Just in 2022. That is a stat for you. Not even Barnet have done that. So Barnet have done it twice. Conceded 5 goals at home this year. And, that for me, it's crazy. That's a crazy stat. And that is something that I hope Phil Parkinson is aware of, that stat.
I'm sure he definitely is.
I'll ring him and tell him.
Yeah,
because
you do
that's a very worrying thing.
Yeah.
One thing I saw on social media yesterday was people saying, look, it's a freak game. It's a one-off thing. It's just, we got overrun in certain areas. It's just one of them games.
But we shouldn't be getting overrun, though.
But it's not a one-off, is it?
No.
It's not a one-off.
No.
And that stat proves it's not a one-off. You've got Dover, is that a one-off as well?
Was that this year?
That was this year, yeah.
Oh God.
So I think it was about March.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
You got Dover, you've got Grimsby, you've got Barnet yesterday, you've got how we played at Chesterfield.
Yep.
How we paid for large periods of the Oldham game as well.
Yep.
These aren't isolated incidents. That's what concerns me. Is if it was a one-off freak game, I could go, do you know what? I can say that. In my notes for the Notts County game, we created all these chances. We didn't score. I actually put in my notes on Wednesday, it just wasn't our day. But is that a one-off as well? There's a lot of one-offs in there. And that's the concern thing. Yes, we've scored loads of goals. Brilliant. Let's stop it. I've always said, haven't I? Clean sheets. Clean sheets, clean sheets, clean sheets. Clean sheets will win you the league, right? Even if you have an off day and you can't score, you're still taking 1 point away as long as you're keeping a clean sheet. And it's a concern for me. Let's get on to Mark Howard. Now, I have a big issue after yesterday. Yes, in midfield they were poor at times. Defensively, very poor yesterday. Very, very poor. Picking up the runners, picking up the second ball, it was all poor. Mark Howard yesterday, I've rewatched. At the time I thought this, and I thought I'm not going to put that opinion out without watching the replays a few times. His positioning for some of the goals was atrocious. It was absolutely atrocious. Now, the first goal they scored, it was an all right strike, slightly scuffed, right in the corner. That's fine. Very much reminded me of the Oldham goal, where I think he could have stopped that. I think his positioning was slightly off, and he was too far one way, and that's why he didn't get to it. There's one out of the way. The corner, his positioning for the corner was terrible. If people watch that back, he was practically on the back post. He was not where he should have been standing. A goalkeeper should not be getting beat on his near post. That corner came in. Honestly, he could have been a full step closer to the other post and he still wouldn't have got it because he was miles out position. And his positioning scares me. So, with that in mind, that's a little rant. I think he was very poor yesterday. And for a 35-year-old goalkeeper, who's been a goalkeeper for over 20 years, I don't think he should be making these positioning mistakes that he's making. So, question for you.
Okie dokie.
Langton's back in training.
Is he good?
He is. Actual full shot stopping as well.
Okay,
so
cool.
He's actually...
Was he out training on Saturday?
No, I don't think... I didn't... Well, I'm not saying... Definitely not. I didn't see him. But he's definitely in training at the moment. Stopping shots, testing out his wrist, all that sort of stuff. He's been doing that for a short while. When he is fully fit, does he come straight back into that team?
100%.
For you, yes.
Well, actually, there's a bit of an argument, isn't there? You don't, like, with all other guys who've had injuries, I think you kind of need to ease them in. Yeah,
but you can't really do that with a goalkeeper, can you? You don't, like we've talked before, you don't waste one of your subs on a goalkeeper, do you? Do you think maybe he plays for the reserves for a couple of weeks when he's fit?
Maybe, but I think a lot of people will be wanting him back doing what he does best. And I think a lot of people want Howard to be on the bench.
I want him back. 100% I want him back.
I mean, for me, like I've said in previous episodes, I've seen a couple of games with him.
Oh, yeah,
but I've not really
seen
him.
You haven't.
I've just heard that, and watching like the documentary and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that he is a good goalkeeper and he has been massively missed, I think.
Yeah, I think
at the end of last season.
For me, he comes back in that team. From what I've seen, Howard's very good. He's a good shot stopper. He's a big game player, I think. But he seems to switch off and his positioning's all over the place. And I think he was very poor.
I think yesterday, as a team, and obviously including Mark Howard, I think we were very, very complacent yesterday.
We were. It was very,
from the offset,
pedestrian.
Because I think because we beat them 6-0 at home and 3-0 away last season, I think they thought, you know what, they're currently, whatever they are, down there on the charts on the league table,
number 17 on the charts this week.
I just think that they didn't come out, and they should have come out thinking this is Notts County.
And they should come out the same way
every
for every
game.
They're professionals. This is their job.
Yeah,
and you can't come out there going, we'll walk over these. You can. And we did predictions of the score. I think I said 7-5, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
No.
I actually put it. I put a post So I know that you didn't.
No, I don't think anyone was getting that one right.
No, I mean, I was closest.
There's a point that we always want to talk about on this programme, and we've talked about it a couple of times, and it's ended up getting edited out on 2 or 3 occasions where we've edited it out because it didn't quite fit. I think this is the week we have to talk about it.
100%.
And it's the standard of refereeing in the National League. So there were a few things yesterday.
Oh, it was a joke.
It was an absolute joke.
It was a joke.
It was terrible. And do you know what? He had absolutely zero control of that game, that referee.
He was just laughing at every opportunity.
He was. And there was a few things that that I wanted to sort of highlight in his refereeing display yesterday. First one was Luke Young's yellow card, which
ridiculous.
Was so ridiculous. It was untrue. He tackled him. He got the ball. They played on for about 2 seconds. Then he blew his whistle, and we were like, "It's not a foul, but you know you've got that one wrong." And then he booked him, and then everyone was just going, "What? What's just happened there?"
Was that before or after that guy? I think it was Carney. Was it Carney when he?
Yeah. That's another. Yeah, exactly this. So he went down injured. I think it was that exact. So Young got yellow carded for tackling him, I think.
Yes.
He went down injured. The trainer came on. Right. So anyone who's not aware, so if we've got anyone who's new to football,
yeah,
the rule is if you go down injured, you can get back up and carry on playing. If you require treatment from a trainer that comes on the pitch and assesses you, you then have to leave the field of play
for a few seconds
and then be called back on by the referee as and when he sees that's okay for you to return. So we had the ridiculousness of Luke Young's yellow card. He had treatment from the trainer, didn't have to leave the field, he just carried on playing. Everyone's going, "What are you doing?" One of our players gets injured and then is asked to leave.
Yeah.
And then that was like, what is going on there? We had an elbow to the face. I think it was on Elliot Lee.
Yes.
It was Elliot Lee, I think.
Yeah.
Elbow to the face. I've seen the replay. It's an elbow to the face. Is it a red card? One of them. It's a flailing arm. It's certainly a free kick. Let's put it like that. And then we had Mullin's penalty. So, in my opinion, Mullin was clean through.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to explain the rule to you and to everybody else, if a player is clean through, if the ref deems that the player fouling has denied a clear goal scoring opportunity, then that's a red card.
Yeah.
Anything that denies a clear goal scoring opportunity, handballing on the line, tackling a player that's clean through, then that's a red card.
Yeah.
And then you're sent off and that you're done.
Mm-hmm.
He was the last man. For me, that was a clear goal scoring opportunity. There was a defender on the right that was coming across. If you look at that replay, it takes him a good one. When Mullin goes down, it takes him a good 2 seconds to come into shot. So he wasn't covering. So that guy was the last man. So that for me was a red card. And I think it was just in general. It was just the amount of throw-ins they gave the wrong way. To us, against us, on our side, there was one which was absolutely ridiculous. So there was, I think it was McFadzean, and it was one of their defenders right on that side. McFadzean turned, went to play it back to Cleworth, caught it wrong, kicked it straight out of play.
But we got the
and then the ref gave us the throw in. And I was just, at that point, I was sitting there going, this is just ridiculous now.
He was just mental.
So what do you think of the standard of refereeing in this league as a whole? Forget him, because him yesterday was he was a joke to the profession, he was. So what do you think of refereeing in general?
In the National League?
In the National League, yes.
I think it's poor.
Yes.
But in my opinion, you are there to do a job. Whether it's the National League, it's Sunday League, or it's your
Premier League,
no, I was just going to say your son's team, or
your
daughter's team, whatever. You should go there with the mindset that it's a job,
Yeah.
and you should put 100% into it.
Yeah.
I believe you should put 100% in it, just like all those footballers are.
Yeah.
Even though they're in the National League, they are still putting 100% into. Well,
yeah.
Generally they are. But I just think that referees are just like, oh. I mean, do they have other jobs?
You've asked me this, and I don't know the answer, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Premier League referees, definitely not.
No.
It is their job. They're full-time referees. When you filter all the way down to the National League, maybe. I mean, maybe the guy on Saturday was a butcher. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? He might be.
Butchers work on a Saturday, though.
Yeah, electrician or plumber. I don't know. Maybe he does have a job.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe he's tired. Maybe that's why.
I mean, he didn't really look that old, to be fair.
He didn't. And there's an argument to say, look, we're in the 5th tier, so you're going to get 5th tier referees. But you still need you still need to know how to do your job.
Yeah.
And he just absolutely didn't know. We'll go back to the Oldham game a couple of weeks ago.
That was a joke as well.
That ref didn't run that game. The players run that game.
And the linesman as well.
The players told him when there was a foul. The players decided when someone was getting booked. He was just reacting
to what was being said to him.
To everything, to crowd reaction. Now, the worrying thing for me, there's two ways of looking at it. They're either not concentrating enough, or they don't care. Or, option 3, they care, they're concentrating, and they're just really bad at their job. And it's a massive concern. Yesterday, did it affect us? Not really. Not massively. We still won the game.
Yeah, but I just think,
we won the game, and did it massively affect? It stops rhythm and flow.
There was one time, I don't know which player it was, but it was Mullen for our team, and he was literally there with the lad's legs wrapped around him, and the referee, and Mullen was just like,
I can't get
pointing at his legs, and the guy was just like,
I know.
There's a tree up there.
That was another one. When Mullen came across to challenge for the ball, slipped and took the player's legs, and then he gave a free kick. That's fine, and then he booked him. And
even the other player, the Barnet player was saying it wasn't a foul.
He was like, he just slipped. He just slipped. You can't book somebody for slipping over.
When the other team, when somebody from the opposing team is saying that was not a foul, it wasn't a foul.
I know.
It was right by us, wasn't it? And we saw that he slipped.
And we were sitting there going, I think for me that was quite late on, and that just compounded the performance of the referee yesterday. I was just fuming yesterday. My dad swore, right? My dad swore.
Did he?
And I was like, see, he's angry now because it was.
He never swears.
It was awful.
What swear word did he use?
I can't say. Can't say it's that bad. It's that bad. But yeah, I think for me, it's got to improve. The standard of refereeing has got to improve. We've moaned about it as a club and as fans for years. Either people don't like us.
They don't like us.
They don't, but that's
because
fine.
Of who owns us.
But that's fine. You don't have to like us, but you have to do your job properly.
Yeah.
You don't have to like us. We don't want referees liking us. Who out there wants referees liking them? The odd nice decision now and again would be fine. But you just have to do your job.
They're meant to be impartial.
If he isn't reported for that decision, for that performance yesterday, I'd be very surprised. Very surprised.
So do people higher up, like what?
They should be assessed, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't get assessed at every game, but I think if somebody makes a complaint about a specific referee, then maybe.
Well, I'd like to make a complaint about him, but I don't know what his name was.
I think as well, another point to touch on, if the ref makes a wrong decision, the whole point of the linesman as well is to talk and go, I think you might have got that wrong. I think this should happen. The linesman, I didn't see him speak once. He's got an earpiece.
To be fair, I did. I saw the one that was on this side.
But he wasn't helping, was he?
No, he wasn't, but he did speak. I'm just, No, I'm not backing him up because I don't know what he said. Yeah. I'm just clarifying that I saw his lips moving.
Oh, God. Anyway, he might have been saying,
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
He might have been saying it's warm for October. Yeah.
It was yesterday.
It was. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about the weather. Anyway, we're not that short of content. That we're not. The weather. Yeah. We've got a lot to get through.
We do.
So let's move on. So news this week. Let's put the games to bed, the refs to bed, our Sunday League performance to bed. Yesterday, I played games when I've gone backwards. I played games when I was younger, and I was playing football.
Many years ago.
When I was playing football, that used
when the wheel was invented.
That used to end like 9-6 and stuff like that. I used to play games, but that's very much Sunday League and kids football like that. Certainly not professional football.
No,
do you know what I mean?
No.
Move on.
Get on with it. Come on.
So news from this week. Just a few things to sort of touch on. We signed Scott Butler.
We did.
Well, he's been here before.
Well, yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back,
we
Scott.
welcome back, Scott.
Yes, he's so he used to play for the youth team. He went to Swansea. Played for their under-19s, under-23s. I think he got released by them, and we've re-signed him.
How long for?
No idea. I think it's short term, so he's had a trial. So he's been a trialist. He's successfully come through that. We've signed him for a little bit, and hopefully that all works out for him. I like young players.
So what does he play?
Defender. He's a defender. Defender. I mean, let's be honest. We've got a League Two defender in Tunnicliffe who can't even get in the team. So I don't rate the chances of a 19-year-old.
This is what I don't get, right? Why all these people are getting signed? Obviously, I mean, did he cost money?
Who?
Scott.
No, I think he was a free agent.
Okay, so
it's costing wages though.
Well, exactly. So you're paying somebody that you've probably got no intention of putting on the pitch or even on the bench.
It's about development, that is though. So you need your younger players to come through because look at Jordan Davis. We developed him. We shipped him off and then got him back again. But
his parents developed him.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And young players are important.
They
are important. And I think, you've got to build. He's not going to be on mega money. Do you know what I mean? He's only 19 and he hasn't really played any first team football for anyone. So, he's not going to be on major wages. But it's worth a bit of a go. But Tunnicliffe's still an enigma to me. Very, very much a mystery.
The man of mystery.
He saw him warming up on Saturday. Wasn't even on the bench. Wasn't even there. I just think it's a little bit. I
still don't know what he looks like.
No, I think he needs. I think we need. I've heard his performances in the reserves have been pretty decent, and he's a bit of a beast.
So who would he replace?
At this moment in time,
yeah,
for me, probably Max. I think Max has struggled the last couple of games. I would certainly try. I'd give it a try because the whole point of having this strength in depth is to use it.
Yeah.
And to give players when they're not having the best of time. I love Max.
Yeah.
I think he's amazing. Last couple of games he's struggled. So in that instance, let's give him a little rest away from the first team. Because you don't know if it's physical, mental. You don't know what it is. And Max is still a young lad.
He's 18, isn't he?
He's a bit.
Or is he in his 20s now?
Don't know. Anyway, he's a young lad, was what I'm saying. He's obviously very young.
Anyone's younger to
he is. And I just think sometimes with young players, if you have a couple of bad performances, that can affect you.
Yeah.
I do understand. I'm not stupid enough to think that dropping him from the team isn't going to affect him as well. But I just think we just need to.
If they approach it in the
right way,
yeah.
Few poor performances. Let's give you a little bit of rest. Make sure your fitness is fully there. Let's give Mr. Invisible a game, and then and just see how that works.
Yeah.
We've got Harry Lemon there. He was a starter every game last season before he got injured. So I just think you need to freshen it up a little bit. Like I say,
keep your options open.
It's the whole point of having all these players there is so that you can freshen things up when you need to. And I think now is the time. So the FA Cup.
Blyth Spartans.
Yeah.
Never heard of them until they pulled them out the bag.
No, so we got them. That game's going to be on ESPN America.
It is live.
Live. So we messaged CJ and DJ to let them know it's going to be in ESPN America.
It'll be at 8 o'clock in Montana, will it?
Yeah, so CJ said he was very excited to actually watch a game. I saw a few things from Blyth Spartan fans going, who the hell wants to watch Blyth Spartans and Wrexham? And the amount of comments that came underneath, people going, me, I do. Because we've got to remember.
And I put on there, I know 2 people.
Yeah, because we've got all these American fans who can't watch a game at the moment. They're just watching highlights. So, there's a lot of people who want to watch this game, regardless that it's just an FA Cup game.
I think there was a point made, and I don't know if it was you that made the point actually, but if
I'll decide if it's a good point, then yeah, it was me.
You said if it was Blyth Spartans playing somebody else.
No, what I said, what the comment was.
They're watching Wrexham, not Blyth Spartans. Yeah.
He basically said, who wants to watch Blyth Spartans versus Wrexham? My point was, if the full stop in that sentence was after the words Blyth Spartans, probably no one. But as soon as you put versus Wrexham, then that American fan base is all like, I want to watch that. Regardless of what the game is, I want to watch that.
It's just people having, just
having a pop, aren't they?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's jealousy.
Yeah, everyone's just jealous of us.
Just jealous.
Just got loads of money, got famous owners, and we're scoring 7 goals.
To Barnet, though.
What do you think of the FA Cup?
I think it's a waste of time.
Do you?
I think it should not be interrupting the National League. I think that we should go there on next Saturday.
Who would you play?
Who would I play?
Who would you put in the team?
Tommy Cliff.
Yeah.
All the ones that don't play.
I'd definitely give Kai a game. I'd definitely give. I think Dalby needs to start for me. I'd stick Elliot Lee in that starting lineup as well. Whether Jordan was fit or not, I would put Elliot Lee in there.
It depends how much Parky is bothered about it. Really, it's great to have a trophy, but what would you prefer?
We're not getting that trophy though.
Well,
this is my point. We're not winning that competition. So
yeah,
for
we talked
me,
about this last week.
We did. Yeah. It's a cup competition. Nothing to do with the league. Do we want to be wasting our first team players' energy on a cup run? No. Is it a distraction or is it? It's nice. There's the argument I'm trying to make here. We'll talk about this in sort of hand in hand with the FA Trophy. A lot of people are like, look, let's just go out the FA Trophy. Let's go out the FA Cup and let's concentrate on the league. Now, the thing is if you get in a routine of winning, it's nice to keep that routine going. Okay. So with a cup game, it's another game that we can go out and we can win. And it's nice to get in that winning routine of winning. Cup game, win. League game, win. FA Trophy, win. It's nice to get into that routine of getting. Do you get what I mean? I
do, but I still think it's a waste of time. Shall I give you some stats on Blyth Spartans?
Go for it.
Okay, so National League North.
National League North, yeah. So league below ours, for anybody who doesn't know that. So we're in the National League. The league below ours is split into 2 leagues. So we've got the National League North, which is the north half of the country, and the National League South, which is the south half of the country.
Well done for pointing that out.
Thank you.
They are currently 21st in their league table.
Yeah, there's only 24 in the league, isn't there? So
they're not doing great.
They're not.
And they finished 19th last season.
Okay, so just narrowly avoiding relegation from that as well.
Yeah, their top scorer is JJ O'Donnell.
What is he? Is he a plumber or something in his other time?
I don't know. Why?
I'm assuming they're semi-professional. Because of I can't imagine them being fully professional. They might well be. I might be doing them a disservice.
They might play football and then they're on benefits.
They're
getting topped up with universal credit, maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
I've
got a really interesting stat for you, which I found.
Ooh.
So
I'll be the judge of that. Go on.
Anyway, we last played them in the FA Cup in 1978.
That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Before I was born.
Yeah. What I've put down is last played them in 1978 FA Cup replay and Wrexham won 2-1.
We did. Dixie McNeil scored in that game,
Did he?
He did.
And then we did also play them in what was called the Debenhams Cup, which I didn't even bother getting any stats about that because it was just
I'm
never heard of it.
I'm not even sure what that is. That might be in the old FA Trophy, Maybe. I'm not sure because I thought we talked about this a little bit in the week, didn't we? Where we said the League Cup, it's always called some random stuff, like it's the Carabao Cup or Caribou Cup or whatever. Rumbelows Cup, Littlewoods Cup, the Milk Cup, all this stuff it's been over the years. But Blyth Spartans wouldn't have been in that because I don't think they've ever been a league team. So that must have been some form of FA trophy or something like that, maybe. But like you said, it's we drew 1-1 with them. I think as anybody who supported Wrexham for quite a while, they'll know the Blyth Spartans story, where we drew 1-1 with them, and then we played them in the replay and we beat them 2-1.
Yeah. But
what we actually did, obviously Blyth Spartans are quite a small team and they play at a small ground. So we played the replay. They moved the replay from their home ground to St James's Park. It's where Newcastle play. And in the replay there was 42,000 people.
How many were Wrexham fans?
I have no idea, but I think a lot of the Newcastle fans, because they're quite close to Newcastle, a lot of the Newcastle fans went to the game. So,
do you know when I first heard Blyth?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought Blyth was in Scotland.
Did you?
I did.
Blyth. Yeah, maybe. It sounds a bit Scottish. North of England, isn't it? So.
Documentary
talk.
Oh my God, it was an emotional tour.
It was. So we had the introduction of Ollie Palmer.
Yes.
That was the first. And I think everyone sort of knew he was a bit of a character. I think one thing that was quite interesting was he played his first game without actually having met any of his teammates.
Funny, yeah.
So he signed and he met his teammates in the dressing room before the game.
I don't even think he did meet him in the dressing room.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, obviously. He didn't just throw him out on the pitch, did they? Yeah, he met him for the first time in the dressing room. They didn't, parachute him in. You know,
Go on, Ollie.
Yeah, you're not meeting anyone. Get out there. No, yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. But obviously...
What made me laugh was when they were... there was a game. I don't even know if it was his first game or whatever. But I think it must have been. He scored... but everyone was singing Paul Mullen.
Yeah, I know.
And it was just like, he said, I scored 2 goals.
And they're still singing Johnny Mullins. Yeah, I know.
No idea why he called him Johnny Mullen, but there might be an inside joke there. I don't know.
But what you're talking about is the emotional stuff was obviously the Jordan Davis.
Oh my God,
stuff.
I cried.
Yeah, so how do you think that was handled? Because obviously there's a very much a comic element to this documentary. And to switch it there into quite a serious subject, how do you think they handled the documentary?
I think they handled it really well from a point of view of a woman.
Yeah.
You know, having had a child myself, never going through what they went through.
No.
But I think they did handle it really well, and even Jordan Davis thanked the documentary team for handling it with such care, and
I think it was quite an emotional thing, wasn't it? And I think it would have been remiss of them to leave it out, the documentary.
Yeah.
They could have easily left it out because of the sort of tone of, and they could have gone, look, we won't put this in.
We'll do it as like they did. They did it as a memory for him.
I think they could have easily done that, but I think it was quite brave to take it on as a documentary and go, look, we're going to deal with this, and we're going to, and show. I think it helps humanise the players.
That's it. I think people forget, when they're, telling them they're crap and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That they are human at the end of the day. They do have feelings. They have lives. They have kids. They have partners. I mean, some of them are single, obviously, but they have lives outside of Wrexham AFC.
Talking about that though, Dibble was obviously saying how
this broke my heart.
How he used to get a lot of stick on social media and some of the stuff that he used to get.
He used to get threats, and he didn't want to come to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many jobs where you get abused after. Can you imagine doing your job and going home and just getting abuse on social media for the way that you've done your job from people that you don't even know? Can you imagine? I mean,
it would affect me massively.
Massively, it would do.
I don't think it would affect you though. You'd be like, oh, whatever, I don't care. Well, I don't know. I suppose.
No, yeah. I don't really care what people think. Massively, I don't. People have their opinions, and
but if you're getting it constantly,
that's the thing. I think that would get you if you're getting it.
Message
if you're getting it all the time, and ultimately they're doing their dream job, and then you're getting your dream job soured by people messaging saying you're rubbish at your dream job.
Yeah.
I think obviously I give Howard a bit of stick on this podcast here. That's just my opinion about his performance.
Not about not as a human being.
I wouldn't ever dream of messaging him directly on social media to say
you're crap.
Yeah, you're bad. We don't want you at the club. You should leave. I mean, that's steps way above what analysing somebody's performance. Do you know what I mean? You've got to expect having your performance analysed, but I think that's massively a step too far.
I think it gets too personal when you're messaging them on social media and that kind of stuff.
100%. We got a little insight into. We had a little bit of Cam Green, didn't we? Who left the club.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
Do you know what? I'm not going to, obviously we're just talking about people saying horrible things to people. I'm not going to be nasty about him because I don't know him. But he didn't come across great.
I've made this point before where people cry out going, why isn't he playing? Why isn't this person playing? And I think what you will find is, what I've always tried to say to people who ask this question is, you don't know what goes on in the training ground. Are they bad at training? Do they
turn up for training?
Do they turn up late to training?
Yeah.
Are they moaning all the time that they're not in the team? And Cam Green is a young lad, and he obviously frustrated at not playing. But sometimes you've got to use that frustration to knuckle down and be better, instead of letting that spill out into moaning
on the documentary. They were at the training ground where they train and all that kind of stuff. I think it was Collier's Park, actually, where my parents live. And he sounded like a petulant child. Oh, I'm not playing in this game. And it's just like
and I think you can see why certain players weren't playing.
Yeah.
And it's very much comes down to attitude, I think.
Yeah.
And I think there's a definite insight there into why players didn't play. I think Tyler French was another one. Cam Green. There's a few players who've gone who
you kind of know why they went.
Starting to understand why they've gone and why they weren't getting in that team.
Yeah.
And their professionalism and all that sort of stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the criticism and stuff online, we're obviously part of fan groups and stuff like that. How much do you I'm not talking about the direct messages. I'm just talking about the general conversations where people go, he's rubbish, he shouldn't be in the team, oh my God, I wish he'd leave. Just in general conversations. How much do you reckon players are aware of that online?
Well, a lot of them tag them in, which is like, they at them on Twitter.
Yeah, I know, but do you think they're reading it? Do you think a lot of them are reading this stuff? Like Parky, for example, all the abuse he gets. Do you think he ever looks in the Wrexham fan groups on Facebook or whatever?
I don't think so.
No? I
don't think they, at the end of the day, regardless of the opinions and stuff like that, you're just a person.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things they do say are absolutely horrendous, but I think that as footballers, managers, whatever, I think they kind of say, I think it's with any kind of celebrity, if you like, they're kind of trained and, set, not only to what to say in the media, but also what to avoid in the media as well.
Yeah. I get you.
And I think that's probably kind of something that they take on, and it's like...
I would say so. Yeah. So, I mean, the documentary's coming to a close now.
I know! What are we going to do with our Thursday night?
I know. So next week is going to be the last 3 episodes of the documentary.
Get rid of Disney Plus then.
Yeah, get rid of Disney Plus, I find myself sinking more and more into my chair as we're going on, because I think next week's going to be a tough watch. Because next week is going to be Wembley.
Yes.
The Grimsby game.
Yep.
And we all know what happens. We know what happens. And for me, I was talking to somebody in work. They said the same thing as me. I almost don't want to watch them last 3 episodes. Because it was hard enough
being there
at the time without having it relived back to you.
I think the Wembley game is, again, it was nothing to do with the promotion and all that kind of stuff, was it?
No, but the Grimsby one wasn't it?
Yeah, the Grimsby one.
And that was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was lovely reliving the Dover game. I enjoyed that.
Kicked ass, yeah.
But to knowing that we're going to have to relive that Grimsby game, it's quite hard.
But you've got to think of it this way. Yes, we didn't promote. Yes, we made some mistakes, and yes, we're making mistakes this time. But we're everyone is saying we're going to smash this league this year. We're going to get out of it.
I don't know what to say to that.
You've got to think positive.
I'm optimistic. What I find with my optimism though is I'm thinking. You watch a couple of games and you go, do you know what? Even when we're playing bad, we're still winning. And then you really go...
on Saturday.
Like on Saturday, like at Oldham, we're not playing great, but we're still picking up the points. And then something comes along and knocks that stuffing out of you a little bit, like Notts County, where you do play a little bit better. We got overrun at times, but we played better, we created chances, and you come away with nothing. And you're thinking, well, my point of even when we play well, we still pick up points is... It's not really working because we do play all right, and then we're not getting anything.
Yeah.
And then I'm always optimistic, and I think we'll do well this season. But then something happens, like Saturday, when you go, "Oh my God, we've conceded 5 goals," and it just knocks it out of you a little bit. I think.
Well, I mean, you've been a fan for a number of years. I've been a fan for 2 seasons. Well, it's not a full 2 seasons yet.
No.
So I am.
Optimistic.
Keeping my optimism alive.
Yes.
So please don't knock it out of me.
I won't knock it out of you. You keep feeling optimistic. That's what you need. I'm optimistic as well.
You're the realist in the relationship.
I'm just a bit more of a realist, and I need to see more consistency in what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was a defender. I was a defender as a player. And so the most important thing to me is always that clean sheet. And we're just not doing that at the moment. We played the last 3 games, we haven't kept a clean sheet.
Why didn't you carry on with football? We could have been living in a big house now.
I know, I was too good, so it was unfair. it was unfair for everyone around me because of the level of quality that I had.
I can imagine.
So, we had a conversation, and I thought it's probably best I don't continue with this.
Okay, and on that note,
yeah.
Let's talk about people who's got in touch.
Yes.
So, YouTube, we had Ryan Hessen getting in touch again.
Yeah.
He actually said, have you guys thought about starting a Discord channel?
Yeah.
Be a good place to talk about the team and build a community. I actually looked into it. It confused the hell out of me. So that's something that we will look at.
It is something we'll look at, Ryan.
But at the moment, it's just a bit over my head.
Yeah.
Instagram, Mitch Poe got in touch again. Another great show, guys. Thanks for taking the time. Going to try and make it a 9 AM beer next Saturday. So obviously the game that we just played.
But that game, just to talk about that, the Blyth Spartan one, that's actually been moved from 3 o'clock to 1 o'clock our time.
Yes.
So just if you are listening to this in America, it depends where you are in America. Just double check that because it is on 1 o'clock our time, not 3 o'clock. So just worth checking that.
And then we had a lovely message on Twitter from Emma Roberts. She said, hi guys, just wanted to drop you a message to say how much I love your podcast and look forward to listening every week. I've been watching Wrexham for 30 years with my granddad, who was 86, and his first game was in 1944. And it's nice to be where we are. The takeover, top of the league, just hope we could, top of the league.
When we got the message, yeah.
Just hope that we can go up automatically this season. Can't go through another playoff. I don't think there's many people that can.
No.
The fans deserve it, and I hope my granddad gets to see it too. Enjoy the Oldham away day to take 3 points at the end. Was brilliant, and the fans were brilliant. Keep up the brilliant podcasts, Emma. So thank you so much for that. It was such a lovely message. And on Facebook, our usual... Nigel,
yeah.
Yes. I was trying to think of something to say then, but I couldn't think of it. So thank you for interrupting.
Contributor.
Yeah. Yes. He said, today's 4 episodes, this came in on Thursday, obviously.
Yeah.
Today's 4 episodes were an emotional roller coaster. Amazing episodes, best yet.
Yes.
I'm sure people keep doing that. Oh, it was the best yet. And then the next one, it was the best yet.
Yeah.
Because all of them are just so good in their own way.
They are.
Obviously, sorry to interrupt. Obviously, people, there's more people that have got in touch. You were going to say that, weren't you?
No.
More people have got in touch, but obviously we can't read them all out.
Yeah.
But if you do want to get in touch, you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and our email, which is me, the wife, and WrexhamAFC@gmail.com. See, I've not said it before.
No, you haven't. So yeah,
so
just take it over. As well, we've had quite a few people over the last sort of couple of games where have come up to us and sort of shook our hand and said, you know,
got a fist pump at the game on
fist
Saturday.
Pump yesterday. It's a great podcast. You can always come up and talk to us at games. Don't ever feel that you can't, because we love chatting to people.
We're not celebrities.
No, but somebody had said to us before, I didn't really want to come up and bother you. But honestly,
loves it, so come up and bother us.
I do. I like talking about the podcast, and if people want to say good things about it, just come and have a chat with us.
If you've got anything horrible to say, though, don't come up to us.
Stay away. Yes, you stay away. Just a quick mention for Dragon Chat as well. So it's a mental health peer support group. It's a weekly Zoom call for anybody that's struggling. It's run by the club. There's some amazing people on there, and I would highly recommend it. If you're watching on YouTube, all the details of that call are down in the description. If you're listening to the podcast, check out the Wrexham AFC Facebook page. They release details of how to get on the Zoom call every Thursday at about 6:30. So if you check that, all the details will be on there. If you have a little dig around on Facebook, you'll see all the previous messages. I'm pretty sure it's the same number and the same meeting ID every week. So check that out. If you're struggling at all, you can have a little chat with people.
Or get in touch with us if you are.
Yeah, definitely. Like-minded people who like football. You know, it's a great little chat. Okay, so it's quiz time.
My favourite time of the week.
Yes. So I've done a quiz this week based on the mentalness of the game on Saturday against Barnet. I've done a quiz.
I've got a feeling you know what's going to be.
I've done a quiz based on that. Okay.
Okay.
It's nice and easy, straightforward.
Is it though?
It is. Yeah.
Oh.
So there have been 5 occasions this season where we have scored 4 or more goals in a game. Who were we playing?
You said it was about the Barnet game.
No, but it's just based on the Barnet game because we scored so many.
Okay. Barnet.
Yep.
5, did you say?
5.
Oh, I can't remember. I forget the games once they've gone.
Come on, when have we scored 4 or more?
Dagenham.
Correct.
I can't try and think who we played. I can't think of anyone. I'm just going to name it. Who have we played? Oh, where did we go? I can't remember. We haven't played Solly on Moors yet, have we? Where did we go? It was like down south or something. Oh, have we played Altrincham yet?
No.
Chesterfield?
No.
Not Notts County.
No.
I can't remember.
Okay, it was Maidstone.
Oh.
Torquay.
Oh.
That's when CJ and DJ were here. Dagenham, Dorking, and Barnet. Okay.
Oh, I'm so ashamed.
That's atrocious, that is.
But the problem is, though, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Question 2.
Oh, that wasn't it.
No. That was out of 5. There's only 2 questions. Question 2. There are 3 games this season where we have failed to score at all. What are them 3 games?
Notts County.
Correct.
Oh my god. Sure it was home.
I'm going to stop you. None of the answers to this question were at home. Oh.
Ew. So I've got 1.
You've got 1. Well done, because it was only from Tuesday.
Yeah, but that's as far as my mind goes.
Yeah. You've already named one of the teams.
Oh.
No.
Have I named one of them?
Chesterfield.
Oh.
We lost 2-0.
Grimsby.
No, they're not even in our league anymore. Southend, we drew 0-0.
Oh.
And Notts County, we lost 1-0. So
you
they're
need
the
to give
three.
me a clue of what you're going to do for the quiz, just so I don't look so silly every week.
I just thought it was like, oh, well, you know, they're only games from this season.
Yes, I know, but you know that once it's gone out of my head.
It is indeed. Right, yes. Well, thank you very much for tuning in again this week.
It's been a hoot.
It has been a hoot, and we hope to see you again for episode 12 next week.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
See ya.
Bye.